Good afternoon. Oh, no, it's good evening, innit? It's at 5 o'clock. So, I had to watch footage from Sky News. Was a little bit blocky, but they reckon 300,000 people, which is outstanding. And seen all the different interviews, Eddie Howe, Dan Byrne, and truly amazing. Also seen where the inner circle was on the town moor. They've kind of done the inner circle, which was for 150,000 people, and the outer bit, where basically everybody who was following the parade bus will be now making their way to the town moor. And they were saying about it being, Antec was saying it's starting to drizzle a bit. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be just drizzle and passing. But, the thing is, right, as I said in my earlier video, Eddie Howe truly deserves to be the Premier League manager of the season. And, I know there's a lot of you here who hate. Well, what I'm going to say to you is this. There's a lot of people who love the content. You who dislike, well, you are like a row at St James's Park. Yeah, you are. You see, there's not that many of you who do actually hate. And I'll tell you this much, right? What I've done with everything which I have mentioned to you in my videos, well, you can't touch it. And that's the honest truth, because I should have been in Newcastle today, but I'm here. And as you can see behind us, there's the scarf. That's the same scarf I've taken up to St James's Park and twirled around. So, looking forward to this light show. I think it's 7:30 from Sealer. See what that's like. But all I want to say to you is this. As I mentioned in earlier videos, Jordy Nation, which I've created, yes, I did use artificial intelligence. Yes, I did. Some people have turned around and said, I've cheated because I've used it. Well, if you hadn't mentioned artificial intelligence, that never would have happened. And that's the honest truth. Now, when I said about 100,000 per YouTube channel, somebody came back and said to us in my comments, when I mentioned the Newcastle City Council, apparently they're having issues with finances. Didn't know that, and that's the honest truth. Why? I don't live in Newcastle anymore. What I do know is this. There's a lot of councils, even Nottingham City Council, where I live, are in financial problems. And there's another one a little bit further along the road, well, 2 hours along the road, Birmingham, yeah? They're in the same problem. But what I'll say to you is this. With Jordy Nation, right, there's a lot of businesses in the city centre on many, many streets. And Jordy Nation is going to help them. It's going to help the Newcastle City Council. It's going to help Newcastle Chamber of Commerce. And also, it's going to help Adam Pearson, Steve Wraith, Matty Renton, Lee Lawler, Sam Mulliner, who else? Eddie H, Rob Rubenstein, Gallagher Shots, NUFC, was it? NUFC Evermore, and Paul Ditchburn, the Tune Review, Barry Through Black and White Eyes, John Sinclair, I've missed one, I know I have, I've missed one. Who is it? Yeah. Black and White Banter, Charlie Does Football, and Loaded Mag, NUFC. And these are just a few. There's loads of Newcastle United YouTube channels. All the ones which I share on Facebook. You want to check which ones I'm on about? Paul Gallant 1. That's where you find all of them. And I share from there across our neighbourhoods, because everybody lives in a different neighbourhood. The YouTube Facebook page, which is, well, you already know that because it's my same spot on with what I've got on my YouTube handle. Jordy Nation. And what I want to say to you is this. All of these pages I share you on, like Invest in Us, Must-Have Products, Crypto Empire. These are all my pages. And here's the best bit. I get messages from Meta. Meta owns the whole lot, right? Meta has a business suite. Jordy Nation is going to have a business suite as well, where you, as YouTube channels, you can set up an account to do advertisements for your channel. Those who are going to work within Jordy Nation, their remit is for every single person on YouTube who does Newcastle United, to push you and keep pushing you to everybody. And here's the thing. By doing that, the hope is that my little tiny channel with 1,113, I grow as well. Because YouTube, as I explained too, universal credit. Yes, they know all about this as well. It's a business. So, Jordy Nation will be a business. SeekingYou.org will be a business. And the game, well, yes, that will be a business. So that when that day comes around, retirement, 77, 78, 80 years old, who knows? That's in the future. But I know this much. A nice little nest egg so that I can look at that and I can spend that on whatever I want. Be it my dream car or a house or something else so that I can travel A to B just a little bit faster. But it will be company owned. And, there's going to be loads of people turning around and saying this, that and the other. Say this, that and the other. It's still happening. Now, what I do require is game developers. Yes, that's a priority. Project managers. Yes, that's a priority. But here's the number one priority. Somebody who knows Solidity like the back of that. Somebody who has the knowledge. I want you to come forward because there are 10 assets, and those 10 assets we're going to share. The reason why we're going to share them is because these assets, they are reissuable, which means 100 drops, sold. 100 comes in, drops, sold. 100. You kind of catch what I'm saying? Because that is what reissuable is. And the only thing it tells you when I went to do all of these things years and years ago is this. You can't use it to buy the biggest house with a swimming pool and a gymnasium and a cinema and all the rest of it. No, you can't. Because that is a criminal act. You can't buy like the largest super yacht and sail around the United Kingdom. Again, you can't do that. All you can do is build a business. So that's what the Solidity is all about. And you get paid when the codes, and there is 10, when the codes are checked, verified, and they are on an exchange. Then I have the icky problem where, as I am selling the assets on said exchange, whichever exchange it is, when I get to 100,000 sales, £25,000 of that is going down to London, to the Financial Conduct Authority and the Prudential to register with them. Yes, it's blooming expensive, but the benefits are that you're doing it the legal way. Okay? So there's a lot of information in this video. Damn right there's a lot of information. But here's the thing. This is all set in stone. Try breaking a stone. So, the hope is, between now and May, that's 2 months, an expert gets in touch who is an expert in salinity, and we move forward. Then all of what I said in previous videos, you get to see that live. Thanks for watching.